and Galeer, the kings of the ring. Dropkick the Commute, we're just getting started still. Mufussy and Galeer.
Hello and welcome to Dropkick
Hello,
the Commute.
welcome to Dropkick the Commute. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you told me before this. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
Nope.
No, I'm
you can
quitting. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Hello,
quitting the
everybody.
podcast.
Welcome to Dropkick the Commute. What was that? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying I'm quitting the podcast. Go ahead.
Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome to Dropkick the Commute. It's just me by myself. Welcome to
Psych,
the
idiot,
new era.
I'm here.
Oh,
I was
no,
lying.
I
You
don't.
know, that's called a false finish. A false
No.
finish. No.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't
man.
want you here.
Oh. All right.
Just kidding.
No, it's
Mufussy's
me.
here with me too.
Hey.
The weekend is over. The wrestling, it was kind of mid, and we're gonna we're gonna talk about it.
It was an interesting weekend. I don't know.
It was just like uneventful.
Yeah, it was just like, oh. all
like
right.
for the weekend of the USA premiere. I don't know. It was kind of lacking.
I gotta say, we gotta talk about a few things. We gotta talk about the new logo, the SmackDown logo.
Did you say smack sound?
SmackDown. It looks like SmackDown because the
Okay.
S.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
I
S,
see
you
it.
know, the S is there, and then the D is like there's like separating it as like the bottom part of the S. But not really,
SmackDown.
and it just looks like it's a SmackDown. It's cool though.
SmackDown.
I don't know. I'm a fan of the new branding. I think it's very modern.
I like it.
It's a new era.
yeah.
It's
It
it's
reminds
nice
me
and
of their
all.
SummerSlam logo.
Yeah, I will say. With
He's
the
gonna
new
say.
logo, we had some new graphics and such. So when the wrestlers were coming out, you know, it would say their name and their record and like all this stuff. And none of the weights were correct. None of them. Zero.
Why?
Randy Orton's was off by 40 pounds.
You think they just like went into the old database of
Bro,
their weights or
I
something?
have no fucking clue, but it said Randy Orton weighing in at like 250, and she goes, Randy Orton, or weighing in at 290 pounds, Randy Orton, and the graphic was 250, bro. There was
Someone's getting fired.
zero of them that were correct. And it made me chuckle.
Someone back there is getting fired.
It was very funny. But I don't know. I thought SmackDown was okay. Like we had some fun stuff here. Like
Yeah.
to open it, we had the WWE Championship match between Cody and Solo Sikoa in a steel cage, and
It's true.
I thought it was an okay match. There was a funny part where like Solo was like kind of no-selling. Cody just kept continuing to smash him into the cage wall, which was funny. And we had many Cody cutters, many disaster kicks. We had a Cody cutter from off the cage, which was crazy.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
You know, your classic Cody and Solo match here. But the big thing that happened was after Cody was all done, he got the pin, he wins the match. The bloodline comes out and they're about to ambush Cody and beat the shit out of him. Roman comes out and he walks in, closes the cage behind him, and goes to town.
Sure, he ate everybody.
He did. He ate everybody. He ate them all. Very cool entrance. I enjoyed it. The aura, if you will, is unmatched. It's everything.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like something was missing. I can't put my finger on it.
It was the spear through the
But-
cage. It wasn't there. That's That's the only thing we
True,
need.
we did say that was gonna happen. Well, you said it was gonna happen and it didn't. So I guess it's your fault.
Yeah. What do you feel like was missing? Go deeper.
I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just like I'm projecting like an insecurity or something. I don't really like. I can't pinpoint what it is. I think the match was good. You know what it might have been for me was just the fact that we see, you know, later on in the night, we get a contract signed for a tag team match.
Yeah.
And it's Cody and Roman, and they're going to team up to face Solo and Jacob Fatu, which I love as Solo's partner. It makes sense. He's the guy that's over right now in the bloodline. More over than Solo, arguably.
Right.
But I think what made it a little more stale for me, I loved Roman's segment and everything. I think just like Cody still being part of it, I was like really hoping this would be the last of it and that we would get Roman versus Solo. Which will happen eventually.
Did you watch a highlight or the full episode? Did you watch a highlight?
I watched the highlight, yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if they showed it in that. Cody wanted nothing to do with this. He did not want to just sign it. And there was a backstage segment where he walked up to Nick Aldis and he was like, listen, I get it. I get that you're doing this match, but respectfully, I want nothing to do with it. I'm not signing that contract. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to go talk to Roman. Like, Nick Aldis said that. He's like, okay, I'm going to go talk to Roman and figure this out. So then he calls out Roman later, and then we got that whole thing. But there were numerous points through the night where Cody was like, bro, I want nothing to fucking do with this. And then, you know, he was out there later on, and then they teamed up, and then Cody was, you know, Cody didn't sign it until Roman signed it. Yeah. He's like, fine, whatever.
Yeah. I think regardless of all that, I still think it's like, I'm personally over it. I'd love to see Cody and go and do something else.
Sure.
With the championship. But that's me.
It's hard for me because, like, respectfully, like, what would he do? You know?
That's another great point. It's because we have criticized his championship run.
We had the match with AJ. We had the okay match with Kevin Owens. The only feud I could see, like,
Randy
is Randy. And then, okay, so you have the Randy feud. Cody wins. Then what? You know, like, where do you go from that? I feel like
I don't think because of that we should just default to bloodline story. You know.
I agree. I feel like...
but I also think it's like the curse of this championship run.
Yeah.
Is that he's tethered to this bloodline story, and honestly, like, I don't see him. He might need to lose the title some other way and get a world title from like some completely different way for him to not be tied to this.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that is like I feel like this run in particular is tied to the bloodline. Like the story has to be tethered to that, and then whatever his next run is, then he could, you know, go crazy and have all these different feuds and, like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I won't go and say that the payoff was absolutely worth it. The build was great. But now that we're like the chase is always better than the actual like championship reign. Right. That's just how it is. But yeah, I don't know. Something needs to change. Something needs to happen. The bloodline is way more over than Cody has ever been as champion, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Even while Roman was gone, like this is just like what people cared about more.
Right.
So I don't know. We gotta find some way. But it's like what else is Cody gonna do now? But it's like, okay, when this thing with Roman is like when they have this tag team match, it's like, okay, what's next? Like no matter what, we're gonna wonder what's next because nothing seems like plausible for him right now.
Yeah. And, you know, we're wondering, so it's why they're continuing to do it, you know? Keeps having us ask what's next, and that's money
I guess.
for them.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure. Yeah, man. It's money. But I don't think it's like a good wondering. It's like I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'm really worried.
That's fair.
And I was watching this man's entrance, and I'm like, man, Roman without a title is like. Don't get me wrong.
It feels naked.
I don't want to. It feels. Yeah, it feels naked. It feels wrong. He looks over, and Paul Heyman's not there. You know, there's a lot of things missing, and I think that's part of it too. But like, I don't want another 4-year title reign, but I definitely like. There's no way Roman doesn't somehow get another championship in the next like couple of years.
Yeah.
I just hope that when that happens, that he doesn't hold it for like a stupid amount of time.
Maybe he'll face The Rock and get the People's Championship.
Yeah.
That belt that The Rock has. No.
Yeah, and it's like exclusive to like Samoans. Only Samoans can like win it off of each other.
Yeah, right. Oh man. Last thing for SmackDown, speaking of Randy and KO, we had a really, I don't know, I loved this segment, but there was a tag match with A-Town Down Under, and KO came out, and he's like, guys, my tag partner's not here. I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, I got a replacement. And Ricky comes out.
Ricky from Seattle.
Dude, Ricky is so over.
Yeah, dude, I was like, what the fuck? Where? When? Why?
Ricky for champion.
Who is he?
He's Ricky. Who cares?
I need more. I need lore.
He's over. And that's all that matters. So Ricky comes to the ring, and KO's like, you know, my partner's not here tonight, so everyone, this is Ricky. And the crowd actually goes crazy. And they're like, yeah, Ricky, woo! And, you know, Ricky starts off the match, and he's like getting his shit rocked a little bit. And then, Alicia Taylor like looks into the ring and she's like, no, he's here. And KO's like, oh, he is? He's here? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, Ricky, thanks for the help. I don't need you anymore. So Ricky leaves, and then Randy Orton comes out, and they have a fucking killer match. It was a fun tag match.
Good stuff. Yeah, they hand it to Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, selling like crazy. Yeah. Saw that compilation the other day of Theory just selling stunners
so
all throughout his
good.
career.
So good.
It really is. But yeah, go Randy and KO. I want to also point out, I know we had our things to say about Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, but they had a really good match.
Yeah, they did, but like, okay.
All right, yeah, you go first.
Someone commented today, and I think that's why I'm like on this. Someone commented today and was like, oh, wrestling with no story, you know, doesn't keep viewers interested and all this stuff. And they were saying it to shit on AEW, and I'm like, Andrade and Carmelo just had 5 matches with no story. The story was, I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
No, I'm better than you.
It's literally a best of 5.
Yeah, they just had 5 matches in a row. They were all entertaining. Yeah, there was no story. And it kept viewers engaged. I kept seeing stuff every week about Andrade and Carmelo. And it's like, you can absolutely have wrestling with lack of story. It's okay to just watch a match here and there. Does story make it better? Yes, absolutely. Give me story, give me emotion. You can have a match to have a match, or 5 in this case. I think it was a little excessive, but it worked. And then they turned it into a U.S. title thing, so.
Exactly. I think it should have happened sooner. But this is one of those things where it kind of like tests the chemistry of two people.
Yeah.
They can either try to push 5 matches between 2 people, and by the second or third match, you're like, this sucks. Like, this is just, again, Sheamus and Damian Priest, 2021, or 22, whatever it was, ass. This was, they found a way to make each match kind of surpass the other, or at least keep the same energy.
Yeah, keep the same pace.
People. Not my kind of thing, but it worked for a lot of people.
Even, I think it would have made it a little bit better in my eyes if they even just said, like, hey, if you want to really find out who's the best, let's have a best of 5. And then, and then LA Knight could be like, oh yeah, it's going to be for the U.S. title, whoever wins it.
It kind of just happened.
Just throw that in there and don't don't just have the best of 5 and keep us wondering how fucking long is this going to go on, Because they just had 5 in a row. Like, they didn't say anything about it.
The Elite and Death Triangle did a best of 7.
I heard about that, and I think you
and
told
every
me
match was fantastic.
Yeah.
But we knew it was best of 7 for the Trios Championships.
Right.
So, it's just kind of like, here's what it's about. Like, here's why we're doing it.
Yeah, just throw it in there and, give it a little bit of thing, not keeping us questioning, oh, how many, But it was good.
Also,
I mean, it wasn't a bad match at all. I loved it, and they're entertaining to watch. And we got a fucking crazy, like, shooting star press, or not shooting star, fucking Spanish fly is what I wanted to say. We got a reverse Spanish fly from the barricade, bro.
Yeah, it was all very good, and like a good match to have for the premiere too.
Yeah.
And then next week we're getting a dumpster match with Chelsea Green and Michin.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I'm excited. And that's kind of all I have to say about SmackDown. The Bailey Naomi thing is like,
got it. Yeah.
And I don't have too many thoughts on it. Just kind of like, where are we going?
Yeah. I don't have much more about it. And to be honest, I don't have too much about Rampage and Collision either. It was a weird week. It was a weird week.
It was a lull, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
A lull is kind of good. We can take a second and catch our breaths, especially after all those fucking pay-per-views. Like,
I will say,
we deserve a breather.
I will say I haven't watched Impact, so I gotta do that because I've heard the past 2 episodes of Impact are good.
Yeah, very good episode. I got a chance to watch it, thankfully. But as far as like Rampage and Collision go, I mean, the only like high points I can really think of, like, it wasn't even like the storylines were bad. It was just like the big storylines weren't really covered.
Right.
Honestly, it was a great week for like new talent to go over, because we like thinking about the Outrunners got their little moment at the end of Collision, which I thought was great with FTR. And I remember reading a funny little thing that said like FTR is what people think 80s wrestlers were like.
Yeah,
and the Outrunners are actually what 80s wrestlers were like. And their whole like video package with the VHS tape.
I love that.
Really
and
cool.
the gym. Do you have a membership? We don't need one.
Yep. And the fucking handshake is great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how they didn't tap into this earlier, because they've been around for a bit. But like them, and then Queen Aminata, which I don't know if you know too much about her, but she's been in like Ring of Honor for a bit, and like it was cool to see her get a W on like a television program, and it looks like she's got something with Serena Deeb that's about to happen, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, a little feud there.
Big ups to Robin Renegade, because she's been working a lot too. In like Rampage, she was against Camille. I think she was on Dynamite too last week. you know, they've just kind of been feeding her to people, but like it's all good.
Getting TV time.
So like I think it was a great week for newer talent that we don't know as much about to kind of get their reps in and be featured a little more, because honestly the big stars, like I think the biggest story on Collision was Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah.
And like kind of like the uncertainty of like where his head's at. He had a really good backstage segment after his match, and you can tell he's just like so fucked up over the whole thing.
Yeah, he is.
And then other than that, you've got the promoing on commentary from Nigel about his match with Bryan Danielson.
That shit was so good.
It was so good, but I was just like so iffy about it because Tony Schiavone's like, yeah, the match that's gonna happen if Bryan Danielson shows up and we haven't seen him.
Well, I liked the video package that he made though. He like,
yeah,
it was very one-sided, and he was like, 16 years ago I beat the shit out of Bryan Danielson. No one's ever come close, to me doing that. And all it showed was clips of him like beating Bryan, which was so good.
I love it.
But I like how with this little summary that Nigel gave, I think it does a little bit for the storytelling where, like, now you don't have to assume that people know about the feud that they had, because now they just gave the audience the spark notes.
Yeah, for the people that like didn't know.
Through a very one-sided Nigel way, but they gave him the spark notes, and it's not like, oh, why is it, who cares about Nigel wrestling Bryan,
I suppose too it like kind of prompts people to go like seek out matches to see like how they actually went,
Yeah.
So yeah, there are some upsides to it for sure, but I'd say like Danielson and Yuta and Nigel were like the big, points. And other than that, I mean, even like Mariah May had a match where she had commentary. She's gonna have Yuka Sakazaki, who was around for a bit and then she got injured, so now she's back and she's the next challenger, I guess.
Yeah.
But like even that, I was just kind of like,
Like, whatever. Yeah, it's just I feel like they're starting a lot of builds for all the next stuff after this lull. After both the pay-per-views, which is totally fine because they essentially just summed up a ton of stories at both All In and All Out, so totally okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to think what else. Oh, Christopher Daniels, like...
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
On Rampage, on Rampage, there was a segment literally out of nowhere. It caught time in, and he goes, Jack Perry, I'm mad. You're just running amok around here, and you think you're all that. So you know what? You're going to face me for the TNT Championship tomorrow on Collision. And then that's exactly what happens, and it's kind of a quick match, and Jack Perry retains. I'm like...
quite random.
Very strange.
I thought he was an EVP. Like, look, I guess we're not strangers to the EVPs fighting by any means, but he's kind of like a good EVP, right? He's supposed to be a good EVP, so he's like, you're gonna put that title on the line and against me, and I fight like once every 3 months and
it's like, what?
Get my ass handed to me.
Yeah, I feel like the face thing to do here would be, you're gonna put that title on the line against this person, not me.
Not me, because I'm very clearly, like, let's be honest, Chris Daniels doesn't wrestle as much anymore. He's very clearly, like, gonna, I would say, be on his way out soon. Because whenever he wrestles, it's just to put someone else over, which is great. But yeah, I feel like it would have made more sense, even if it was a random person from the roster. Again, a random person from the roster getting a title shot.
Right.
But it makes more sense than Christopher Daniels, who, you know, I don't know. It is very strange.
Yeah, it was an odd weekend. One more thing I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Have you watched Heels?
No, that's on Netflix, right?
It is now on Netflix. It is Stephen Amell's wrestling show that
Oh, on Stars.
it was on Stars. It got canceled, and it has now found a new home on Netflix, which people are hoping brings along a season 3 eventually. But season 1 and 2 are now on Netflix. It has very high praise from a lot of industry, people in the industry. And of course, CM Punk and AJ Lee are both in it as characters.
Right. Yeah, I knew that.
And, I've been watching a lot of interviews with him in it. Like, he was just on Chris Van Vlie's show. Today he was on Busted Open. And just everyone's talking about it again because now it's on Netflix. So it's something
to promote it.
It's something I'm gonna give a watch to, and high key makes me want to go watch the original All In. I just need to find where to watch that because Stephen Amell had a match against Christopher Daniels at the original All In, which is crazy.
I think it's just on YouTube.
Is it actually?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can find it on YouTube.
Maybe
I may be wrong, but I remember one of them, All In or All Out. It had to be All In because that was like the first one.
I will. I'll try and find it and give it a watch. Galeer, a little thing. So I do always say I took a big break from like 2009 or whatever to the pandemic, right? There is one match that I watched. One pay-per-view that I watched in 2015, and it was SummerSlam.
You watched it then?
I watched it then, live. I watched SummerSlam live because I was a big Arrow fan, and it was Stephen Amell versus Stardust.
Yes.
And me, Zach, and Frank all watched SummerSlam because we wanted to see Stephen Amell wrestle.
Did you have a moment where you're like, holy shit, I saw that?
Yeah, I did. I was like, whoa. I just remembered it recently, and I was like, I totally forgot that fucking happened. The match was good. It was fun to see Stephen Amell in a match and all that, but it was, something that it just kind of is there in my big break between getting back into wrestling that I thought was interesting.
Yeah, well, that's crazy. Anyway, even I didn't see that one.
Yeah, so I want to watch Heels. I think I'm gonna give it a go sometime this week.
Yeah, I'll try to watch it. In unison with you where I can. Although I don't. I'm locked out of Netflix right now.
Oh my god.
I'm a criminal. No, I just need to get my own because now they location lock most things. It's my parents, so
I see.
They won't let me watch it in my own home.
You're now
anymore.
Location locked.
Yeah, well, and I'm probably gonna get it eventually anyways, if not now, because they're gonna be doing the big move.
Yeah.
To Netflix.
Yeah.
And there's just shows on Netflix that I was in the middle of and didn't get to finish. So
yeah.
There's that. I also have not seen the original All In, so that might be a good little watch.
We should watch that. That'll be our homework for the week.
Okay.
But Thursday we're having a guest.
Give me homework on Dropkick the Commute.
Well, it's okay. It's homework that we have for like a week because Thursday we're having a guest.
It's true. Are we gonna say his name, or are we gonna wait?
I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, we'll say his name. I don't know.
Joe Hendry? No.
Yeah. No, we're gonna be having Kiro Valentine on the show from Kiss the Ring. So
hell yeah, brother.
That'll be a fun episode. Got a lot to ask him and talk to him about. We're gonna interrogate him. We're gonna get his social security number and his address. Oh. And we'll let you guys know
and his
what
credit
what
card
it is, what
info.
those are.
We'll leak it. We'll leak it all.
It'll be great
for you.
But yeah, this might be the shortest episode in Dropkick the Commute history, folks.
I think so.
It's unprecedented.
The shortest full episode.
And you know what? That's okay.
That is very okay.
It's like it's a lull in the week. But if you enjoyed this and enjoy more wrestling content, be sure to give us a follow, subscribe, like our content, and let us know what you thought of the SmackDown premiere and this whole week of premieres.
Yes, we do have Raw tonight, and tomorrow we have NXT on the road, the CW premiere of NXT. Or no, that's next week.
No, that's next
2 weeks.
That's in 2 weeks.
Oh my god, it's so far away. Okay,
you're getting
don't
too excited there,
we
pal.
have Raw and NXT, and then we have a
It's
guest
true.
on Thursday. So lots of fun stuff.
So true, a lot of good stuff. Give us money.
Yeah.
Or don't. But we have a Ko-Fi in the description if you feel like donating. It all goes towards us making this dream a reality, and being able to further share our passion with the IWC.
I love the IWC.
So yeah, and I think if you don't got nothing else left, Mufussy, we close this bad boy out.
Yeah, don't forget to Dropkick your your week.
Pumpkin ravioli for dinner.
Ooh, Dropkick some ravioli.
Pumpkin ravioli. It's pumpkin season.
It is pumpkin season. Dropkick the pumpkin spice.
Woohoo!
And just like a car driving through the nice fall
through
leaves.
the Dunkin' to get a pumpkin spice.
Beep beep.
Dropkick the Commute, shining bright in the night. Join the conversation.